is up? What is up? What is up? What's going on, fam? It's your favorite auntie with Uncle Tendencies. I'm hanging out with Coach Ro. Y'all know what it is. It's CessTalksSports presents. Now, joining the conversation, we on with Coach Ro. Coach Ro, what's good, fam?
What's up, Cess? Getting excited. We got a lot going on. We got the second half of the dub kicking off tonight. Then we have college is right around the corner. I mean, it's a lot we're going to dive into. We have a lot we're going to prepare the chat fam for. New fans, anybody, when you see this, smash the like, hit the subscribe. This crew is growing and continuing to grow. We are on the plight for 1 million subscribers. We going for
on the plight. Million.
That's right.
So we're gonna start doing something new on Now Joining the Conversation. I'm gonna put Coach on the hot seat at the beginning of every show with a start, bench, cut, start, bench, cut, start, bench, cut with Coach Ro. And we're gonna make him have to pick right from the gate. So start, bench, cut, and we're gonna look at bigs. Well, not really bigs. We're gonna look at the fours. So start, bench, cut, Asia, Stewie, Angel. Start, bench, cut, Asia, Stewie, Angel. What you got for me, Coach?
I have to do this. Is a tough one.
Don't look all stressed out. Don't look stressed out so early in the show. Don't look like ain't nobody made you pick between your firstborn and your lastborn. Hold on, man.
Okay. Here's what we got to do.
Cut.
Just to show we're on the up and up here on Join the Conversation. We're gonna keep it real. I would have to start Asia. She's the best player in the world. I would have to bench B Stu. My angel, you have to be cut. You have to go.
I didn't expect it. Okay. I didn't expect it, but all right. I'll take it. I didn't expect it. All right. Not bad. So, got a lot coming on. Got a lot going on. Coming back into W. Coming out of the Olympics. We talked a little bit about it on our special Tuesday night show. But the gold medal game. Share some of your feelings, thoughts on that gold medal game, and where you see USA women's basketball in 2028.
Okay. The game showed that these moments, the other countries, they get up for the United States. You know, if you watch the games they played leading up to that moment, you could kind of see this brewing. You saw some quarters where it was like, all right, y'all, what are y'all doing out here? What's really going on? Okay. But what I noticed right away, kind of building off the question that you asked me to start the show, the best player in the world showed why she's the best player in the world and literally said, okay, I'm going to put the team on my back. They gave her so many different looks. It didn't matter. She said, look, this is what we're going to do. What I took from that game, too, was not really sure what the backcourt strategy was, but the young lady from France, I don't follow her career. I don't know, much about her, but the way she played and was it an out-of-body experience or was it like normal business as usual for her, even down to the last shot, which was waved off? Young lady came to play. But overall, I don't know. It's almost like you saw the lineups getting moved around a little bit throughout the games. I don't know if it was more of maybe even a rotation in that game because the formula was found. And one thing about the flow of that game, it was almost like France said, look, we know we're not going to just run. We have to strategically attack you. They made the game they slowed the game down quite a bit. They wanted to control the pace of that game. So, again, my initial impressions was, I never thought I would say this, but I was like, wow, they didn't play well enough to win that game. I was like, wow, this is really about this. It was about to be history. And and people say, "Oh, wait a minute, it was still a silver medal." No. You got to understand, it was what 60 wins straight, going on 61. And it was a moment in that game where I said, "They're about to lose. They're about to lose this game," and I couldn't believe it. But then the best player kind of took over and sealed that victory. But I don't know.
Coach, I'm shocked. You know that we played for 40 minutes.
That's true.
You were on your way to the tree in the middle at some
No.
point before 40 minutes in this game?
No, it was almost like a moment where I was like, maybe it was more me saying, wow, even thinking of the possibility. Like in none of the other games that I think, oh wow, this is close. They could mess around. In this game, I was like, wow, could they lose? I mean, it went in my mind like, wow, they could possibly lose this game. So I mean, okay. I don't know. And let me say this: I'm not the kind. I don't like to be. Well, I don't care. But I'm gonna say what I got to say. This is during the conversation. I keep hearing that the world is catching up.
What you got going on? Yeah, there you go.
I don't agree. I don't agree fully with that statement to say that. I think that's media coddling to make the games more exciting of what it is. Are there some players? Yeah, there are some players, but especially on the ladies' side, there's a huge gap between teams being to the point of what the United States team put on the floor. Let's be clear about that. There's a far huger gap. So that's why for me in that game, it was more of, okay, rotations, what was really going on in that game. I don't want to take anything away from France, okay? Now, let's be clear. France was feeding off the energy. They were at home. It was a home game for them. So, they were, they were ready. They were up for that game. But I just don't like those narratives of, oh, it's so close now. Nah, I don't see it that way.
I think it's close. I think I mean, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Nigeria made it to Paris this year.
Mm-hmm.
This says a lot about how far basketball has gone. The world is catching up. France specifically is catching up. I think France, behind Canada, except I don't know what the hell, all the Canadians that have played basketball, I don't know who the hell that is into Paris, but yeah. I'm not Canadian, so I'm not here. That's neither here nor there for me. Okay, that's not either here nor there for me.
That's a great point.
If I was a Canadian, oh, it'd be a meeting in Toronto or Montreal or Vancouver somewhere, Ontario somewhere. It'd be a meeting.
I agree, Cess.
All the basketball that they play in Canada, all the talent that come out of Canada, I don't know what they said in Paris.
I agree.
We haven't talked about that a lot. Mexico never really just caught on with the basketball thing. Mexico was like, not really for us. We're going to stick with this soccer thing because we like this thing. So it never really was a Mexico thing. So Canada, I think, was really close to us. And I think now we would have to say that France would probably be the next closest country to us with both of their teams in the finals. Some people may say it was some home cooking. I don't know. I think that they are catching up. I don't think that they've caught up as much as they've caught up on the men's side.
Fact. Thank you.
I don't think that they've caught up as much as they have on the men's side, but there is some some traction there. But I also want to keep in mind that a lot of these players, especially like we were looking at Nigeria, and it's like, oh, Nigeria's in Paris. Yeah, they're in Paris. But understand that when you look at their roster, most of those players were D1 players that played in the United States. And so we're doing our part in helping the world catch up, right? And they're coming through I don't want to say system, but they're coming through, I guess, this system, the collegiate system, at least of what we're doing in basketball. Some of them going on to play into the WNBA, some of them not. So, and I don't want to spend I don't want to spend the entire time on the Olympics, but I do want to ask this question in kind of like a follow-up to that question, to what we were just talking about. We saw Angel reach out to Gabby Williams, asked her if she wanted to come back. Gabby said no, they dogged me out in Chicago. How about we just play together for another organization or something, whatever was going on back and forth there. Is the Gabby Williams hype real?
No. I'm going to say no. I don't even know how that started. I don't think that's real. I think that it's something to talk about. I think that the Sky are going in a whole nother direction as far as building and doing what they have to do to literally be, I'm going to say, a piece away from being like a dominant force in the WNBA. I don't think it's real.
Well, and let me say this, Coach. I don't mean just me, Gabby to the Sky. Gabby to the WNBA, period. Is that hype real?
I don't think so. No. I don't.
Well, I don't think so either. Because my thing is like the WNBA knew Gabby was over there all 4 years.
Exactly.
Whenever the last time she was there, right? Whenever the last time she was in the league, right? So the league knew that they were over there. I don't know what happened. I'm not going to deep dive into that. I would have to go. I would have to go back and look and see has Gabby progressed from the last time she was in the WNBA to what we saw in Paris. But if I'm honest, Gabby had a sensational gold medal game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many other times they called Gabby's name throughout the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Sensational gold medal game though. I'll say that, but I would have to take a deep dive as to why they weren't in the Olympics. Go ahead.
Now I'll say this: would an owner see it as a cash grab? Yeah. Owner might look at it and say, okay, my team is not doing what it's supposed to do, and I could get some publicity. I could get some attention. I can do that. I could see that possibly happening. She may have received a few calls. She may have received a few calls from some teams, and she's like, I know I haven't been there, but I don't want to play for you. That's very much a possibility. Now, I could see that happening. And the question would be, all right, Gabby, are you going to do that? You're going to go to what we would call I'll say a struggling team, does a Gumawale say, hey, what's up? Come on over here. I could use not in these exact words, but I could use a Robin over here. Me, Sabali, hey, give me another piece. What's up? You be useful over here. Does Washington give her a call? Hey, does the Dream give her? And I don't know. They might. She may have received some calls. But as far as your original question, the actual hype, no, I don't think that's real. But hey, we've seen stranger things happen. You know what I'm saying? We've seen stranger things happen. I just think there's too many players that we look at, like even during the draft. And, we had this conversation the other day saying, well, this player didn't make it out of these umpteen players that were drafted. Only this many players are playing. I just find it hard to believe that out of those players that didn't make a team, that Gabby would come over and then just instantly join the team without an ulterior motive of some type of hype or money attached to it. So
okay, that's fair. Okay, that's fair. Guys, I wanted to know your thoughts on that. I guess in the right situation, Gabby could help a team that's almost where they need to be, but at the same time, with the salary cap, I don't know that the money would make sense. From what I'm understanding, that Gabby can make, at home, and pretty much, I would have to say probably after this gold medal game, Gabby's a star, if she wasn't already a star. Back in France, like they really had to appreciate that performance. So,
and you wonder too, though, Cess, how many conversations did she have with Wemby? Did she talk to him he's like, hey, you can get the best of both worlds. I know I was the number 1 overall pick, but come on over.
Well, I mean, she's been here though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Since she had been here, you know what I mean. So it's like I don't know. I don't know if Wemby could tell her to come back. The fact that the Chicago Sky spoiled her taste on the whole league, I don't know how to take that. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. I know that that people are recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see where that ends up.
I did see an article that was interesting. Did you see the article that talked about her fitting in great with the Fever?
No, I didn't see that article. But I'll be honest, I don't typically read articles that have the Fever in the title.
Well, so I'm only mentioning that, Cess, because you.
I mean, you laughed. I'm serious.
No. I know you're serious.
You cracked up.
No. I know you're serious, but I'm saying I'm laughing. I'm laughing at like what I was about to say, which is this is an engine. I thought it's ironic that you would say she's a great fit with the Fever. I mean, look at that hype. I mean, look at that news. Look at that. What better way to bring even more or to detract criticism to other players on the team, so to speak, to bring in an international player to say, okay, here's another storyline for the Fever. Here's another, you know what I'm saying? Like, what better, here's another storyline. Well, this person who many say should have been on the Olympic team now has a player that was over there, one of the best players in the country. Now they're uniting, they're joining forces. I mean, I could just, it was just ironic to me to see that.
You know what's crazy though about that?
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about that? That's the storyline she's already living. You got drafted to a team that had the rookie of the year.
Right.
One of the most dominant bigs in the game.
Mm-hmm.
One of the players that could have, should have, probably would have been, will be on the Olympic team. I mean, what have you done?
Yes.
So we've seen that narrative already in Indiana. But people like repeats if you want to do it again. But how dare you? How dare you think that that's a narrative that they need in Indiana? That they have that already. But, I know that Indiana has, they drafted Caitlin, put them in a stratosphere that requires them to put butts in the seats. And it's a lot of eyes on them. So maybe if they feel like that would help them.
Yeah, but, and like we said, are they going to come to that crossroad to do what I am strongly against, which is stripping the team down and putting a bunch of shooters and creators and almost like alleviating the big from your team? That's still an option on that team to try to say, okay, let's make the focal point who we want it to be and put players around her that are just, pieces, so to speak. Which could very well still happen. We don't know. So, interesting.
I wanted to talk Angel Reese. I wanted to talk Angel Reese a little bit and the Reebok deal. So I was reading an article today by David Suggs. The Reebok deal explained and why Angel teamed up with Reebok, and then some of the things that I saw here. So to me, I wanted to point out that Angel took much like took the Asia route in the sense that it looks like it's going to be a Reebok collection from Angel. The signature shoe is, and it was interesting in the article. It says if it's coming, it's still in the work. I think that I thought that the signature shoe once she signed with Reebok was like a done deal. Like, why would you sign Angel to Reebok if there's not a shoe an exclusive? I think it would be an exclusive signature shoe that would come out. But maybe they won't do anything like that. But the reason that she said that she signed with Reebok, one, they didn't have a women's basketball player as a face, so she wanted to be that. Two, Shaq, the relationship with Shaq. And then three, she likes how they're rebranding everything and they're letting her be the creator behind everything she wants to do. So having her own shoe line coming out, merch with her name on it. Y'all like what I wear. Y'all like how I dress. Y'all like my style. I wanted to incorporate that in the Reebok. Was a quote by Angel. So, and then her vision for her fashion line, which is Reebok by Angel, It's her first foray kind of into the world of sportswear, her collection. So she's working hands on for the collection with the Reebok designers to craft pieces that are, fit her style, match what she would do. What are you thinking about it?
I think that Angel Reese is.
Oh, and the mantra, because I thought the mantra was really great. When they sleep on you, tuck them in.
Here's the thing. I think that Angel Reese's approach is similar to her play on the court. She's fearless. She's a trendsetter. She plays the way she wants to play. I know I'm couch coaching a lot when I'm watching Angel Reese. Angel Reese says, look, I know what I can do. This is how I play. I'm only saying that to say, even with this deal, the articles that I looked at, the first thing she mentioned was I could have easily signed with Nike. I could have easily done these things. But again, Angel Reese does not want to be one of the 15 players with a 15-second cameo in a commercial. And again, nothing against Nike at all, okay? Nothing against it. Nothing against New Balance. Nothing against these other brands. But you just said it. Angel Reese is a trendsetter. She's in a position where she wants her prints all over the design. She wants to be the focal point. And I could see her being the person bringing other athletes over to Reebok because of her endorsement, because of what she's doing. I could see her going to her former team, giving them all a pair of, if they allow them, a pair of her Reeboks to wear, during games. So, and one of the articles I read was interesting. They mentioned she's following a pattern of greats, like it mentioned Jordan, LeBron, Serena, and Durant, because this is going to be bigger than just one shoe. Like you said, this is going to be a brand, probably a global brand, because we're on the heels of the games that just happened. Let's remember, 2028, she's going to be on that team. She's going to be over there playing. So, this is a strategic move, in my opinion, by Angel, and I think she's a shrewd business person that is putting everybody on notice. Now, here's another thing. Reebok may have already shown Angel 15 prototypes, and she said, nope, don't like them. This has to be right. I don't want to be that person coming out with a different version of the shoe, so different every time. Like we've seen some, like they have their shoe 1, shoe 2, they're like totally different. I think she's trying to set it up like something like a Jordan or an endorsement deal like that, with the style of it, that it's a lasting style that stands the test of time. So,
man, Reebok ain't been relevant since D Brown. Tell me the last Reebok shoe you put on, for real. I take that back. Allen Iverson
relaunched, yeah, and his came. They still.
But the thing about Iverson to me was, I just felt like I wore Iverson. I don't even really wear Reebok, but I wore Iverson because I love AI like that. I didn't feel like it took off like it should have. I felt like it was the Jadakiss commercial, which we all thought was hot. I think they tried to brand AI as kind of like this, like a hip hop brand,
Absolutely,
and not as a global basketball brand.
Absolutely.
I think that hurt the shoe sales, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, I think that's what happened there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they put and this is why I say Reebok ain't been relevant since D Brown, because I felt like Reebok put different money behind D Brown, and maybe because D Brown had a different type of image, and it was cute with the little pumps and all of that. Not pumps, like y'all know what I mean, the pump ups.
Yeah.
Maybe he had a different image that they could get behind. But if Angel dust off Reebok and bring it back, what a feat! What a feat!
I think she will.
The last Reeboks that I wore was the classics.
Yeah, I was right when you asked me that question. I had to think. I bought a red pair of classics, and that was when I was doing my David Letterman. I called it the David Letterman. I was wearing suit with the sneakers, and it was like that sneaker went with that suit. So yeah, it was a classic that I had. You know what I mean? But I think she will, and she even said in the one article, I like to do the opposite. Like I said, her game matches. I mean, her business sense matches her play on the court. I think she's going to be successful. I think she is. She said, "I'm going to bring Reebok back." She's not going to have a sit down with AI. She's going to have a sit down with him if she hasn't already.
They've already sat down. Already sat down. She's already sat down with Shaq. I mean, let's understand that they talk business. I don't know. I know that AI is a Reebok guy. I know that I love the way that Reebok took care of him as far as like managing his money. I think mismanaged. I think they mismanaged, or they didn't understand the magnitude of the shoe and the guy that they had on their hands. So I think
it's the latter. It's the latter. Allen Iverson was always portrayed as like a villain-like player. Ever since he said, I'm not wearing a suit. I'm not wearing this. I'm, whatever. I want to wear what I want to wear when I'm done with my interviews. I want to, I got the cornrow. I mean, it was always.
I'm saying that. I say that to say, like, the Allen Iverson shoe, the answer, that shoe could have sold like Kobe. Like, I don't think that Reebok in the world realized that the young players loved AI like they love Kobe. And it's a shame he didn't get. It's almost like it's not a tragic story. Like, it's not like Allen Iverson fell off. Not none of that. That's not what I'm saying. But it's almost like he got half the bouquet that he deserved. You know what I'm saying? This dude deserved 2 dozen roses for what he delivered to the game, and they only gave him half his due. You feel me? So,
what's funny?
Bittersweet.
What's funny about this? This morning, literally before the show, what popped up on my timeline was a montage of Allen Iverson crossovers.
Oh wow!
And I think people really forget how cold Iverson was. I really do. The
other thing they forget about, the other reason they forget about him is this, which people probably don't even remember, and people don't talk about this. Allen Iverson doesn't talk about how good Allen Iverson is.
No. He mad.
He never talks about how good Allen Iverson is.
He gets mad when you put him. The only players I've heard him say consistently is he's a huge Shaq fan. He'll say the most dominant big man of all time. I've heard him mention Jordan, as far as like great players. But you are absolutely right.
It's Kobe. It's Kobe is the one that I hear him talk about. It's Kobe. It's Kobe.
Yeah.
He loved Kobe. I mean, Shaq, MJ, those two, but Kobe. It's a shame the little guy, and I say that with all respect. Like this little dude gave so much to the game. Like we never. The way I think the way Philadelphia loves him, the rest of the NBA world was in this secret relationship with Allen Iverson that they didn't want to tell people about. Like they loved him secretly. Like they cheered for him secretly because of the image that they tried to put on the jacket that they tried to put on this guy. I think a lot of people was in a secret relationship with Allen Iverson. But if they would have loved him, if they'd have loved him up front, I mean, out in the open, like how they love some of these other players, you would have seen the love, up there with like what you see for a Jordan and a Kobe. He definitely changed. He definitely changed the game like that. So.
And you see it when he interacts with the legend players. I saw the interview we were talking about. I watched that with the 75 greatest players. I watched some of that again recently, and they were talking about that, or it was somebody's podcast, I believe. They said, look, certain players they were talking about that showed up, they said Allen Iverson was getting major love from the legends. Like, hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like it's Allen Iverson. They talked about like certain players.
Shaq got love.
Yeah.
Kobe got love. Allen got love. The only other player that got more love than them probably I mean, Magic got his love and all of that, but was Michael and Michael. Nobody even knew if Michael was coming. So when he showed up, it was like they went crazy. But yeah. They've only given dude half the flowers that he's due.
We could do a whole show.
Put some respect on his name.
We could do a whole show on the answer, like for real. Like I think people, if we did a deep dive analysis on Allen Iverson, look, I challenge anybody when you look at this recording, look at the other 4 players that played with Iverson, and look at what the Sixers accomplished while he was there.
I mean, it depends. It depends on what you talk about. It depends on what you're talking about. Because there was a time when there was like AI and AI. And when AI and AI were together in Philadelphia, and when I say AI, I mean Andrew Iguodala. So when it was Iverson and Iguodala, they were on to something. They were on to something. But they didn't hold it together long enough. They gave up. They gave up too quick on that. Moving on though, Coach. Moving on. We won't stay there the whole time. Liberty are finna get back to work. I think y'all get back to work tonight, right?
Yeah.
Y'all get back to work tonight.
Yeah.
So you all are, and I believe on the road in Los Angeles, right after the Olympic break.
Yep.
Wasn't much of a break for your two biggest players. So how do you all look tonight? And do you think because they're coming back off the Olympics that it runs through Jonquel tonight?
I think tonight, they run through Jonquel. I think that Jonquel is going to feast on the Sparks a little bit. I think it'll be a heavy inside game. I think that the New York Liberty, they're gonna come out a little sluggish, but I think IMS Cool is going to play pretty well because her minutes were very limited on the team. It was a sit down and watch, learn, what you can do, and maybe for next time when you're here, you'll have more of a role. I look for her to really take off tonight. But I'm going to call this a early dangerous game for the Liberty, like you said, because of the hangover, because of they need to heavily rely on the supporting cast in this game. But I do think that JJ should have a pretty good game, well rested. I don't think that Sparks really have an answer for her. My only concern is there's always 2 sides to that coin. Don't sleep on Rakia. I think Rakia is going to be ready to go. But I look for the Liberty to win a game that shouldn't be as close as it's going to be. But I look for them to pull that one out. So that's what I'm looking at. As far as we were talking about the big game, the big game Saturday. That's going to be a tough one. I think we talked about this before, and we said that they would have to lose 1 game to break the record, right? I said before, if they were going to lose a game, this will be the one game that I think that they would lose because they're on the road. They're in Vegas. And this is like no pun intended, pre-championship type playoff type ball. I think this is going to be the closest playoff type of atmosphere game before the playoffs that we're going to see like early on. There's going to be some more, but this is going to be a big one. It's prime time. Everybody's going to be watching 4:00. I mean, it's going to be a movie, I think, for that game. So I think the Liberty are like I said, championship or nothing. They have a plan. Execute. That's it. So those are my thoughts on the first 2 games coming back. But tonight I think they handle business.
Okay. We'll see. I don't know. This could be an interesting game for them. They're coming back. Could be some jet lag. They want to make sure that they're not overlooking the Sparks, thinking about the Aces. Because the Aces got back and they just rested. We won't play a game until Saturday. So there won't be a I don't know if people think we'll need it. There won't be a tune-up game before we get to this movie. We come right with the popcorn Saturday, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. But it could be an interesting game. It could be. I don't like to say trap game, but it could be one of those games where you're not all the way back. You know, haven't knocked all the rust off as far as chemistry with playing with everybody. You're getting back from playing with the best players in the world. To back to playing in the WNBA now. So you got that, and then thinking about those aces, thinking about trying to break the pressure of trying to break the record, the pressure of trying to make sure that you are the number one seed going into the playoffs. So a lot of things. So we'll see how they manage that. But I know we wanted to talk Hustle Stat All Stars. I know you wanted to talk to Hustle Stat All Stars. You wanted to break down the 2024 team. Go ahead, Coach. Take it.
Yeah, it was interesting article. It was written by Mark Schindler, and I thought it was an interesting article talking about the Hustle Stat All Star. So talking about different players that go above and beyond with different contributions on the court, and what I liked about this is that these are players that are not necessarily put into the limelight. Like other players. I mean, it's kind of an oxymoron, but you get the point. And but what
one of the things too, Coach, is that to be a Hustle Stat All Star, you can never have been an All Star.
I love it, and I was just literally about to So I liked it because the first player that's on this article is Bridget Carlton. It's her 6th season. She's with the Lynx. And as we know, the Lynx came out of the gate playing like they were going to, and I'm not going to take anything away from them, but they were playing like, hey, we're here to go for a championship. I mean, that's the goal of every team. But I'll be the first to say I was surprised by the way the Lynx came out this year. I mean, and the way they're still playing. I mean, they're playing. They had a little bit of a slide recently as far as their play. But they're still right in the mix. They're still right there. But she started 21 straight games, and she's averaging 9.5 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. But here's the thing. She's shooting 43% from the three-point line. That's quite the feat. And see, during the conversation, we look at stuff like this. The defenders, the different defensive schemes, the way teams plan for you, it's known that you can still shoot, but yet you're still shooting a clip of 43%. So that means that the team, they're creating ways for you to get those looks. And when you have your opportunity to shoot it, you're taking full advantage of it. That looks totally different, And here's the thing. She's 9th in the league in total made threes and 5th in three-point percentage amongst players who've taken at least 30 threes this season. And if you've watched the Lynx game, they're shooting threes in transition. They're shooting threes. I mean, the three ball is their friend. So I just thought it was interesting that she was here. And also the team as a whole, they're on pace to set like an assist record, because they move that ball a lot. They move the ball a lot. And right in the center of that, who doesn't get a lot of we call it the hockey assist, would be Carlton. And what may also be underrated is she often guards some of those top perimeter players on the other team too. So let's look at this big picture. We have somebody that's more than likely drawing one of the toughest defensive assignments, while at the same time shooting 43% from the three-point line, and is a very intricate part in what we've seen to be as a very good team. So that's Bridget Carlton. Didn't know if you had any thoughts on Bridget Carlton, Cess.
No real thoughts on Bridget Carlton. Outside of the stuff that you shared, I think she's very consistent with what she does, and I think that's the thing about Minnesota. Like Minnesota's not gonna wow you with
Mhm.
anything. They're not gonna wow you with anything. They're gonna be consistent. It's the consistency, and I think she's like the epitome of that. That's what makes the Lynx go, is the consistency. I think she does that very well. I
Mhm.
think she understands her role. That's the other thing too. I think everybody's very clear about what it is they're supposed to contribute. Um, and I think that just that speaks to how Cheryl Reeves runs her team there. But I think for lack of a better word, she's having a very consistent season. Uh, but
And let's not forget, says this, to the demise of another young lady that's pretty good in Diamond Miller because of her injury
mhm,
is how Carlton's getting a lot of this time.
good call, good
So
call.
it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out when Diamond Miller returns. Like,
Is Diamond back this season?
I don't know. But even next season, it's like, how does that work? Well, does a
Well,
team look at Carlton and say, hey, I had to look at her
well,
contract? Yeah.
even before that, like Minnesota now has to look and say who are the players that we're going to protect in the
Ooh-wee.
expansion draft, and then who do we not protect? And is she now on the list to be protected, or is she now one of the more valuable unprotected that the
She has
Falcons
to be protected right now.
on now?
Unless they were like, unless they have more eggs in the basket with Diamond Miller, which I'm not gonna take nothing away from Diamond Miller, but it's like, what do you do? Is it a what
Yeah,
have you done
we're
for
gonna
me?
find out.
Yeah. Like,
So
what have you done for me
that's
lately
great
type of
call.
thing? Yeah.
Great
All
call.
right. Next on the list, Sess, was Jordan Horston. Now I gotta give Sess some credit. Seth's been kind of talking about Horston a little bit, and the Storm is one of the teams, one of my favorite teams. And I guess in the flow of what it is, because you have the big three, I'm not gonna say you kind of forget about players like Horston, but it's like they'll pop up with a great stat line, and you're like, oh, look what Horston did. And I think, Chip says, you asked me one day, I think it was Horston. It was like, would I keep her on the team? I think it was her, and I
Well,
believe
I asked you about your six, who you were gonna protect.
yeah, and I don't think I put Horston on there.
It
So
was not.
my apologies to Horston. Let me look at Horston. When you see this, I apologize. I apologize to you, Horston. I apologize to you, Jordan, because Jordan, let's talk about who you're surrounded with, which are the big three. Okay. Um, Even despite that, uh, you're shooting 55% in 2-pointers. That's and also Horston can take the ball off of a rebound and go coast to coast and score with ease, despite being surrounded by that. So the Storm as a team are shooting. They struggle with 3-point percentage. Um, but to put Horston in that starting lineup says a lot. And before and looking at this, I'm like, okay, well, maybe she's getting that because she's on the court with the big three. But I'm like, no. She's not someone that you have to necessarily guard at the 3-point line, but she's allowed them to move the ball around a little more consistently because of her ability to attack the rim. And Horston is the Storm are 8-2 in their last 10 games. And my partner here adequately described it as being clunky at times, and I agree. I think that Horston is the piece that makes it not be clunky because she's doing all of the hard work that perhaps the stats that other people aren't really seeing out here to make them a real contender. She's an all-around player. She's a stat stuffer. She does just about everything on the court. She has a plus 15 net rating when she's in the lineup with Skylar, Jewel, Ezzy, and NECA. plus 15. That's huge. So kudos to her, and kudos to what she's doing over here. And again, thank you, Cess, for putting me on the spotlight. I had to apologize to this young lady, Jordan Horston. And I'm excited to see what she's going to do when at the second half of the season. Yeah. So thoughts on Jordan.
I like Jordan. I think Jordan brings the athleticism that balances the athleticism that Jewel has.
Mm-hmm.
I think she allowed the clunkiness of the Skylar and the neck of being out there to work because of the athleticism and like you said, the behind the scenes things or the non-stat box things that she makes sure is taken care of. So yeah, I think that was the perfect move for them.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll issue the system as they move into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I want to talk about Sass. I'm gonna let you take the wheel if you don't mind on this next one. Lindsay Allen. Now, let me say very candidly, I wasn't checking for Lindsay Allen because of the play of, we just talked about Angel Reese, we talked about Kennedy Carter, Camila Cardoso. This young lady was described in the article as a natural scoring guard and a combo guard. Now, let me stop there for a minute. I don't like throwing the word combo guard around a lot. I just don't. I think you have to have a certain skill set to be considered as a combo guard, meaning that you can't necessarily leave this player wide open, while at the same time, this person can get to the rim, this person can lead the break, and this person is not allowing the person they're defending to just pretty much, dominate them. And when you take into account where she is right now, she gets into the paint kind of at will. She lives in the paint. And now, could the perimeter shooting get better? Yeah, it could. Sometimes you'll see Lindsay get in there a little too quick or a little too deep, and it's like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do with the ball? What you gonna do? But she's figuring out before our eyes how to get that ball where it needs to go. And when she can step into those shots, she's and you know what? Here's something too. I love fast players. She's very fast with that ball. We've seen some coast to coast drives where it was like the blink of an eye. And how many times have we seen this young lady in the second half when other players are kind of like slowing down, she's speeding up. So again, and I mean, it goes without saying, defense, ball hawk, always around the ball, quick with the hands. So that's my take on Lindsay Allen. Again, I didn't really take a huge deep dive into Lindsay Allen until I like saw her as part of this hustle team. Thoughts, Seth?
Chicago Sky is still figuring out the guard rotation. Lindsay Allen has proven to be the best of what was there. I'm interested to see if Lindsay, how Lindsay is used, and now that we brought in Mariah Jefferson, but what Lindsay has been able to do to help the team be in playoff in the playoffs, actually in the A spot right now. Goes kind of uncelebrated. We don't talk a lot about Lindsay Allen but stepped in and filled in to kind of help steady the ship as much as it's been steadied in Chicago. But I think that it's been a good guiding hand. I don't know that Lindsay is I don't know that Lindsay's going to be the long-term solution. With that remains to be seen what they do in Chicago. But definitely an intricate part of where the team is right now. So, and that's definitely been able to step in and give scoring and defense in situations where, maybe a Dana Evans or Marina Mabry were not able to at times. So, definitely that's one of those teammates that you just kind of thankful for. Like, thank goodness we had Lindsay. So I think that's that. But I don't know that means that she's a long-term solution, because I think the Sky are still making moves and determining what that core is going to look like going forward. So,
right.
But for right now, has been definitely enjoyable to watch. And definitely one of those players that the Sky have been able to count on.
Yep. Good call. Last one. I know we're gonna get out of here soon, but I want to give some love to Shatori Walker Kimbrough. Here's another player, and I'll transparent. A lot of times looking at the Mystics, I watch the Mystics because of the team they're playing. There's not many times that I'm running to my my app or my television saying, "Oop, I got to catch this Mystics game." No disrespect to the Mystics, just being totally transparent. But again, there are some diamonds diamond in the rough here. So they've had a rough start. They've been shorthanded. They've been hit with a lot of injuries. But something that stands out about Shatori, in her last 10 games, she's averaging 12 points and 3 assists, shooting well from the field, especially from deep. Now, I don't know if I necessarily think there's a chance for her to get this, but this article mentions that she's in a conversation for 6th player of the year. I don't know if it's the team. I don't know if it's the environment. I don't know. I don't want to go that far. But she seems to be the epitome of what you would call a role player. But what's interesting to me is, how does that look with a healthy team? How does that look in a different environment? Like, how does her game really look? And is it looking this way because she's on the Mystics? I mean, let's just call it what it is. Not a whole lot of options there. But now, with this, and I think, Cess, you said it one time, you said, look, the Mystics do not have a bad team. Right now, I was hard on the Mystics, very hard on the Mystics. And you said, look, the Mystics aren't as bad as we think. They just haven't really figured a lot of things out. But I don't know. This mentions that she can come off screens. She's an off-the-ball player, and that she's a pretty good playmaker. I'm going to personally look a little closer at Shatori Walker Kimbrough now that she's made this all hustle team, just to kind of see for myself and stretches like how this really plays out. But what also stood out is that it says that she's always on the short list for the all defensive team. So shouts out to Shatori. I'm going to take a closer look at you, Shatori. I want to see what you're bringing to this conversation and to the Mystics. So those are my thoughts on Shatori. Says thoughts.
It's unfortunate for Shatori. The pieces that should have been there for her to be able to be even more successful didn't pan out. The Elena Deladon situation, Aaliyah Edwards, I think has been up and down for her rookie season. But I think that's also has to do with the injuries that they sustained, Deladon not being there, not having an actual, I don't know who the leader is of this team. So a lot of those things, I think it's some unfortunate stuff, and it's stuff that didn't have to go that route.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, that has interrupted this season for Shatori more than anything else. So unfortunate. It'll be interesting to see if Shatori is one of the players that's protected in the draft, and then if not, definitely I think have played themselves into enough film to be picked up by somebody by another team.
Yeah.
Now I know you had said last one, but there was one more on the list, Lee Yuru. We don't have to spend a lot of time there, but
I'm not laughing at you, Seth.
I think Lee played, but did Lee play for China, right, in the Olympics?
I think so. I saw the name. I straight up was like, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. What I saw from Lee was that Lee had left to go like play in the Olympics. They had took Lee picture off the because I got offended. Like, okay, she just gone for a couple.
Right,
weeks.
We talked about that.
Yeah. Y'all took her picture all down off of the like she might not be back. Like y'all had changed her locker or something. So I know that Lee went to Paris.
Yep.
I don't know exactly like what the stats were. I don't believe China medaled. So I'm not sure exactly how well Lee did. What I will say is that if Lee could be a consistent big that shoots the three for LA, that could be really helpful for them, especially with Cam not being there. And then if they're going to be, because I think Lee is also, I think Lee Yuru is just on a 1 year deal.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. So she would have to show some consistency. She would have to be able to knock down that three, and then she's going to have so she's going to have to be able to defend, right? Some of those bigs that are coming in there. I think real potential.
Mm-hmm.
I've already said it. I feel like there's some mismanagement of talent there, and so it could be that with a different coach, with a different type of program, you see a different type of Lee Yuru. But I think she rebounds well on the offensive side, and could maybe play off of Ricky and Cam well. But it's a lot of things that are up in the air for the Los Angeles Sparks. But I think for as much as she's been able to, like as the game is slowing down for her, and it's coming more, she's contributing more. But I don't know that this is a long-term solution. So it'll be interesting. A lot, LA has to figure out the rest of the pieces, and then they can figure out what to do with Lee Yuru, I think she
is an excellent backup if Cameron Brink's not hurt. Like you said, she is phenomenal on the offensive glass. And she's a big that can step out and shoot threes. I mean, she's the perfect fit. She's the perfect backup center to Cam Brink. But like you said, it depends on, I think that's why her increasing in time, people are kind of like, wait a minute, I didn't know she could shoot. I didn't know. That may not have even been the immediate plan for her coming in, but it kind of organically happened because of the injury to Cam Brink. But I think that once Cam Brink comes back, this is an excellent situation for her to come off the bench and get some quality minutes. I mean, it's not many. What you say? You can't coach 6'7". You can't coach 6'7". She plays to her size.
Yeah, but let's also understand too that there's levels to 6'7" too.
Mm-hmm.
There's levels. She's 6'7", but she's a different 6'7" than Camila Cardoso 6'7". Mm-hmm. So
she's a 15. To me, she's a 15-minute 6'7" player as opposed to a multiple minute. It looks different. You're coming off the bench, giving me 15 quality minutes, 7 here, 8 here, maybe 8 in the first half, 7 there. It looks different. Your impact looks different. You come in and you're instantly changing shots. You're doing different things on the court at 6'7", and then you right back on the bench. I mean, it's a great, it's a different look to me. I think the long look at her, like you said. I've watched some games with Lee, and it's like at some moments you're like, whoa, I didn't know she could do that. But then there's some things you're like, okay, are you gonna play some defense? Like, are you gonna, people just going right past you?
And it's just, are you understanding?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, are they explaining it to you enough, right? Like, has it caught on with it?
Right.
The defensive scheme. And just really quickly for Paris, she averaged 17.7 points, 11 rebounds, 1 assist. So double. Played like over 31 minutes one game, only 33 minutes one game, about 25 minutes a game, 88 total minutes in the 3 games that she played. Double-digit rebounds in every game except one, at least an assist. Turnovers, 3. But with the exception of one game, positive plus minus. But again, 31 points, 8 points, 14 points, average 17 points. So the scoring ability is there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fitting it in with the talent that they have there, and then figuring out what's the talent that they're going to keep in LA, I think. But Coach, go ahead and close the show. I know you got to get out of here. We kept you past your time. Anyway, what you got?
Just again, excited about the second half of the season. Tonight we got VIP. We'll jump on there, do some interesting things. We got some other content coming your way. So please stay tuned to that. If you have not already, when you're watching this, hit the smash, hit the like, subscribe. Cess is the hardest working sports media person that I've ever met. And I'm not just saying that, I mean it. Other than that, we're going to get our day started or end the test day. He's probably hasn't been asleep, but we're about to get this thing going. And, see y'all soon. See you later. See you soon. Excited about the season.
Yeah, we're going to get back to WNBA stuff. Get ready to start talking women's college hoops. We got some new shows on the platform. Don't forget to check out the recorded content that we put up outside of the lives. And with that, y'all, it's your favorite auntie with Uncle 10 this season. Until next time, stay tuned. We'll talk soon, y'all. Keep hooping. We out.
Holla.